the war that lasted 38 minutes. August 27th, 1896. Just after sunrise, the island nation of Zanzibar stood facing the most powerful empire on Earth. And before most people finished breakfast, the war was already ending. 38 minutes. That's all it took for the British Empire to crush an entire government. The shortest recorded war in human history. But the real story feels almost impossible. It started with a dead sultan. When Zanzibar's ruler suddenly died, chaos exploded behind palace walls. Within hours, a new man seized the throne. Khalid bin Bargash. Fast, aggressive, unapproved, and Britain immediately saw him as a threat. Because Zanzibar wasn't truly independent anymore. Behind the palace curtains, the British Empire controlled almost everything. Trade, politics, military pressure, and Britain already had another ruler in mind. So the ultimatum arrived. Cold, direct, final. Step down immediately, or face war with the British Empire. Khalid refused. Instead, he barricaded himself inside the royal palace overlooking the harbor. Then he gathered nearly 3,000 defenders, soldiers, palace guards, servants, civilians, anyone willing to stand against Britain. Even the royal yacht was armed with cannons and positioned for battle. Out in the harbor, British warships began arriving, one after another. Steel battleships sliding into position beneath gray morning skies. Massive naval guns slowly rotated toward the palace. Thousands of explosive rounds ready to fire. The message was clear. This would not be a negotiation. Then came the final warning. The British gave Khalid until exactly 9 a.m. to surrender. Not 9:01, not 9:05, exactly 9. As the deadline approached, the entire city held its breath. Soldiers gripped rifles with shaking hands. Citizens watched from windows and rooftops. Cannons lined the shoreline. And somewhere inside the palace, Khalid waited. Then the clock struck 9 o'clock. The British opened fire. The bombardment was catastrophic. Naval shells tore through the palace within seconds. Wood exploded into splinters. Roofs collapsed inward. Flames climbed into the sky. Entire sections of the royal complex disintegrated almost instantly. Zanzibar's royal yacht tried firing back from the harbor. But against the British Navy, it never had a chance. Minutes after the battle began, the ship was blasted apart and sunk beneath the water. Smoke rolled across the harbor. People ran through burning streets. The palace became an inferno. And then something unbelievable happened. Before 1 full hour had even passed, the war ended. Total duration, 38 minutes. Around 500 people from Zanzibar were killed or wounded. The British, only 1 sailor was reportedly injured. The imbalance was terrifying. This wasn't 2 equal nations clashing in battle. This was industrial empire against a tiny coastal kingdom. But Sultan Khalid escaped during the chaos. As British forces closed in, he fled to the German consulate nearby. British troops demanded he be handed over immediately. Germany refused. So the former Sultan remained trapped inside the compound, surrounded by British forces waiting outside. A political standoff after a war shorter than most school classes. Then Germany pulled off something almost cinematic. They secretly smuggled Khalid out aboard a ship. Not through the gates, not through the streets. Right past British forces watching the perimeter. And just like that, the man Britain went to war over vanished into exile. Documented in British naval records, Zanzibar archives, and diplomatic reports from 1896. So history remembers the Anglo-Zanzibar War as the shortest war ever fought. The palace was destroyed before most of the city even understood battle had begun. In 38 minutes, the British Empire demonstrated exactly how terrifying global power could look. If you enjoyed this story, like, share, and follow 60 Wonders for more true stories like this.